Hey everyone, welcome along to Wrestling Showdown Rewind here on the W3L network. As always, thank you so much for joining me here this week. Thank you for having hit the subscribe button as well. And thank you for being part of W3L, and with any luck you're going to be able to be part of W3L live and in person, although it's probably going to be towards the end of the year. But here are some live dates that we currently have penciled in. They were of course planned for last year. I'm sure you know this by now. They're planned for last year. We've had to reschedule multiple times. Original tickets will remain valid. But it looks like towards the end of the year we'll hopefully be back and running in the way that only W3L can. And we'll bring you some live events to round out this year, and hopefully we can bring you a lot of live events and then be back up and running as normal. And when we do bring you live events, we'll have Crafty Connoisseur back on board as our live event sponsor. You should check out their website. Their store is open as it'll always be open. They will send stuff straight to your house, so you don't even have to exit your property. They will send stuff straight to you. They also do virtual online tastings, a whole bunch of other things. Check out all their social media. They sometimes have the odd special offer on or two. Make a purchase from Crafty, tell them that we said hello, and buy yourself a cool W3L t-shirt. There's loads of great designs. Show your support for the Worldwide Wrestling League, particularly now that gyms are reopened. You're going to have to wear something when you're back in there, right? So wear a cool W3L t-shirt. And also buy a fan support package. These won't last much longer. Prices begin at only a £5 and scale upwards. There's something to suit every budget. These are all the things you get for your money, and it just helps you help us keep going until we are back up and running properly. So, hopefully by the end of the year we'll have some live events. But until then, we'll continue to dip into the W3L archives. And this week we're going back to 2007. This week we've got a match for the W3L Tag Team Championship. We have got the biggest tag team champions of all time, quite literally, because defending the title in this match are the Bonecrushers, Carl Conroy and Invincible, two mountains of humanity who have claimed the championship as their own. Can anybody ever overcome these two giant men? Well, hopefully their challengers may well just do that. They are facing T2K, a team who are going to have various success throughout their career, but this is one of their earliest ever W3L matches. They've stepped up to the plate to challenge the Bonecrushers, but can they beat them? Can they overcome the men and get those belts off them? Will we see a title change? Let's find out by going down to ringside for this week's match.
If I, a nice acting partner, don't stop getting treated with the respect that we deserve. If I, a nice acting partner, don't stop getting treated with the respect and admiration that we deserve. I'm going to leave this thing. Go back to the dressing room. Go back to England. Go back to civilization. And you will not talk about
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe Fordyce with your Wrestling Showdown Rewind. We've heard some strong comments from the Bonecrushers, the W3L Tag Team Champions, to kick off this Tag Team Championship match. This is from the June of 2007, and the titles are held by Carl Conroy and Invincible. Two men we've seen in solo competition here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind, but never as a tag team. And they are taking on T2K, Wolfgang and Darkseid, who you may well be familiar with. This is the first time we've seen them as a tag team ever here on Wrestling Showdown, or Indie Wrestling Showdown Rewind. In fact, it's the first time I've ever seen Wolfgang on any of the W3L Network broadcasts, and they have stepped up to the plate. This is only one of the first few appearances for W3L. Again, this is the June of 2007, the team debuting sort of late 2005 for W3L. They just made a couple of sporadic appearances. The team itself formed early 2004. Of course, T2. Oh, Carl Connor's got the microphone again. Well, those are the tricks of Conroy, especially. Likes to jaw-jack on the microphone, demand respect from the audience, and basically throws his opponents off their game, or tries to, bearing in mind that Conroy and Invincible have been going since sort of the mid-90s, whereas Wolfgang and Darkseid have been going really since maybe the early 2000s, maybe 2003-04 at best. So there certainly is an experience difference, and Invincible and Conroy use that to their advantage, because T2K, I'm sure, wanted to make a start and, you know, get things underway very quickly. They're giving up a lot of size as well as experience, and so it's going to be hard to isolate either Conroy or Invincible, wear them down and defeat them. So they probably wanted to keep it a quicker pace, but of course they've not been able to, because all that's happened so far is Carl Conroy has tested the microphone. Showing off his power there as he throws Wolfgang back into the corner. As the T2K have been mainly competing to the west of Scotland. They've competed in England a few times as well, and they've had a couple of appearances here in W3L. Wolfgang was in a 3-way contest at September to December in 2006. So he's had some non-tag team endeavours. And of course, both men would eventually go solo and compete individually, although they would get back together sort of 2011-2012 and have a brief run as T2K yet again. And both members of the group would eventually become W3L heavyweight champion. And as we know, Wolfgang was heavyweight champion first. Was at Resolution 2, he would raise that title. And of course these days he's done pretty well for himself. As Conroy just posing and showing off his muscle, which I'm sure is in there somewhere. He's Wolfgang now part of NXT UK. He's changed so much, and he's got so much better, so fair play to him. And of course Darkseid, he would be a 2-time W3L heavyweight champion, multiple time tag team champion, of course part of the notorious contingency plan. I can never forget them. But this is long before that. This is the June of 2007. And they've got a mountain to overcome, and meaning both men together. Because again, we've seen Conroy and Invincible as, oh, Carl Conroy went to push Wolfgang, who moved out the way. Conroy face first, and now rubbing against that head. Has got him caught in this tight headlock. So the Bonecrushers formed in the February of 2007. Now both men have been going solo, and again we've seen them here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind. Invincible just 2 weeks ago taking on Mike Musso. And so they'd formed a team, and they became successful incredibly quickly. The following month they won the Tag Team Championship, which is what they hold now, and again that was in the March 2007, this is in June. And they proved to be the absolute dominant force in the tag ranks, because they're complicated enough to beat one-on-one. You look at the size of them. And if you remember that match against Mike Musso, Invincible lost by disqualification when Charles Boynton hit him with his briefcase and the referee threw the match out. So he's a hard man to pin down, a man of his size, hard man to stop as well when he gets moving. But as a tag team, when you can see Wolfgang bounced off Conroy, Wolfgang trying to get the crowd fired up, comes off the ropes again, goes in that clothesline, and even jumping into the shoulder block, nothing at all. The hold on both men are in, and a double shoulder block takes him down. Maybe that's what they need to do. I mean, Conroy and Invincible are the size of two men. And it's funny because Carl Conroy, oh wait a minute, oh lovely pescado by Darkseid, throws himself over the top rope, knocks down Conroy, who's not really known for being a power wrestler. I mean, Carl Conroy's a big man, but if you watch his matches, he'll use a lot of those psychological tactics like stalling, jaw jacking on the microphone, all that sort of stuff as well, and will basically try and out wrestle you, and he doesn't use a lot of power, unlike Invincible, who is raw power. But he's not as fast as T2K, who are raining fists down upon Invincible, and and they moved just in time, and Carl Conroy hits Invincible. And I think they found the Achilles heel of Invincible and Conroy, which is double teaming. 2-on-1 is the only way they can get the better of them. Forearm by Darkseid, in for the cover on Carl Conroy. Invincible is there. Conroy got to kick out, but I'm sure Invincible would have made that save if necessary. This is where T2K need to press the advantage. They've been teaming longer, so in theory they're the more fluid tag team, and Conroy reverses. See the Darkseid bounced out of that corner. Conroy's going to follow up, but was unable to. And then we get a tag. But sometimes I think though, despite having the experience edge that T2K do, trying to overcome two monsters the size of the Bonecrushers, it becomes an uphill struggle. Because you need to basically isolate one of them if you can and try and wear them down, and they had the advantage, and it swung back in the favour of the more experienced team of the tag team champions. And of course the tag title's on the line, which is why T2K happily stepped up to challenge for the title. But I mean, trying to get the belt off the Bonecrushers, they have the champions advantage. They don't need to beat T2K. T2K needs to beat them, and that is no easy feat, as you can see. Invincible going to his bag of tricks, leading James Scott. He's sitting on Darkseid's back, continuing to throttle him on that middle rope. And they're arguing with the referee, Clarence Mercado, as to why this isn't an illegal move at all, even though it is, of course. And Darkseid struggling to get air into his lungs, and for a guy of his size who runs around a lot, who's a lot of motion, if he can't breathe, it's going to slow him down, it's going to take away a good chunk of his offense. And a simple clothesline, and you saw how Darkseid landed. That's where Invincible is so dangerous in Game of Assault with Mike Musso 2 weeks ago. He throws a simple move, a clothesline, how elementary, how basic is that, but it does so much damage. And you're bringing Conroy, not quite as big as Invincible, but has arguably the better grounding in wrestling, and the holds, and the like. And tag is made, and then comes Wolfgang. But wait a minute, the referee, he was distracted by Invincible, saying the tag doesn't count because he didn't see it. And now Darkseid in the wrong corner being mugged, Wolfgang complaining, saying I did make a tag, and it's true he did, but the referee's back was turned, and it was ref's discretion in that case. Hear this crowd trying to cheat at Invincible. That's exactly what he did. And an almost cocky tag as if to say, look, we do it properly. nail that forearm. That's like somebody dropping an iron beam across your spine there. And Invincible, like I say, he doesn't have to do anything fancy, but everything he does hurts so much. There's so much mass, so much power behind him. And Darkseid's wishing he could have made that tag, but he's so far away. I mean, it's only a matter of feet, and he can see Wolfgang, but this is going to be the longest distance in his life. Seeing again, something basic. Invincible just shoves him down. And Wolfgang arguing with Invincible. Maybe not a bad move, because if it means he takes his focus to Darkseid, maybe gives him a moment or two to try and catch his breath. And into the back elbow. Darkseid maybe thought he'd found a bit of respite there. He ducked that clothesline. But Invincible's arms are massive, and Invincible caught Wolfgang unawares, and he charged in the ring. He's annoyed, he's ticked off, and you cannot blame him. But look at the result. While the referee's trying to keep Wolfgang out the ring, the Bonecrushers just destroying Darkseid in the corner. This is why they are such a dangerous team. They've only been teaming a matter of months, like I've already said, but their relative experience together as individuals means that they have every trick in the book and they know exactly what they're doing. So Invincible just stands on the throat of Darkseid. The Bonecrushers able to dictate the pace. That's exactly what they like to do. Darkseid launched across the ring. Oh, and he got a foot up. Out of nowhere, Darkseid got a foot up. And a dropkick off the middle rope, and it knocks down Conroy. This is a good move for Darkseid, because he can now grab some lungfuls of oxygen. Conroy, caught unawares, ran heavily into that outstretched foot, and then took the dropkick, and we've seen it's the double teaming, it's the high flying, that's what's managed to get the advantage for T2K in the early going. And then comes Wolfgang, the power man of his team, and he is ticked off. He is annoyed. All the things he's had to stand and watch on that ring apron. Conroy sent hard into the corner. You're never going to move Invincible that easily, are you? Surely not. On T2K climbing the ropes. And more punches. They seem to have, well, I was going to say they have the Bonecrushers on the ropes, so they do quite literally. But they manage to turn things slightly in their favour. Just deciding strategy here. Oh, reversal. Oh, don't say no. And the Bonecrushers get caught out with that one. Oh, and Conroy launched into Invincible. And there's a double dropkick. That's how they had the advantage at the start. Double teaming. Go for a double bulldog. Oh, an Invincible face first at the canvas. And Wolfgang has locked on a crossface. Darkseid's got on an ankle lock. Invincible is caught. Conroy's on the floor. Referee's checking. Conroy trying to climb back in the ring. And it's all over. It's all over. Invincible has submitted. Having his ankle and neck wrenched in different directions by T2K, he has no choice but to submit. And we have brand new W3L Tag Team Champions in the form of T2K. The reign of the Bonecrushers has come to an end. I mean, they certainly made mincemeat out of Darkseid for the bulk of this match, but T2K able to swing things in their favour, and with a double submission hold on Invincible, they get the victory and become the new W3L Tag Team Champions here this week on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.
T2K overcome the Bonecrushers to become the brand new Tag Team Champions in that match from 2007. That's a great thing about doing Wrestling Showdown Rewind and dipping it in the archives We can bring you these classic moments from W3L history that haven't been seen in many cases since the day they took place. We can relive all these events and happenings. And if you want to relive more events and happenings, you can of course check out the archives right here on the W3L network, but why not check out the W3L box office? We've got a whole bunch of titles for you to watch via digital download, via some of the biggest W3L events in history. There's a compilation or two, there's a documentary, a whole bunch of cool things that you can watch. Get involved with the box office, you will not be disappointed. New titles will be added in the future, don't worry, the number is going to expand, so there's going to be plenty for you to watch. And as good as that is, and it is good, not quite the same as seeing us live. And hopefully later this year, you can see us live, because these are the dates currently I've penciled in. They're planned for April last year, but to reschedule them, of course, they're all subject to change, but original tickets do remain valid. Crafty Connoisseur returns our live event sponsor. Make a purchase on them, tell them that we said hello. Also buy one of the cool t-shirts that we have available. There's a whole bunch of cool designs. And get your hands on our fan support package. Helps you help us keep going just until we're back up and running properly. If you want to buy one of our cool t-shirts, if you want to get a fan support package, if you want to buy a DVD, you can do that by going to our website. It's w3lwrestling.com. Make your purchase there and send it to the mailing list while you're at it. Give us a like on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, join us over on Instagram, and of course make sure you have subscribed to this channel if you haven't already, and use that hashtag. Tell us what you thought of this week's match, T2K and the Bonecrushers. Tell us your thoughts on it, tell us what you think of Rewind. Get in touch, engage with us here in W3L, and then come back next week, because yes, I'll bring you another classic match from W3L archives, another bit of historical footage, and it'll all go down right here on Wrestling Showdown Rewind.